just finished reading Stardust, and as many of you know, I've been super excited about this book and super excited about finishing it. Now, I have a few things to say about the book. Being a huge Neil Gaiman fan, as far as his literature, I have to say that it was different than I expected from him. The story was a little weird at points. Overall, I loved it. The cover art is a little misleading on this book, because you see like this really cool ship flying through space and time sort of looking thing. But there's about just one small chapter on that part of the book. And I would have liked it better if perhaps it had focused on the star itself. He's after the star to bring it back to a girl that he's promised the star to in exchange for anything he wants from her, which is to her hand in marriage. He finds the star, but the biggest thing for me, and this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but the biggest surprise for me was in the story when he meets the star. And the star is not this little, like, floating ball of fire rock thing. No. The star is a woman. A little weird at first, but it actually works out fantastically with the story. Another thing that I have to sort of complain about, if you can even call it a complaint, is it says it's Harper Teen who published it, a teen company for teen books. And while this is on a teenage reading level, there is quite a bit of stuff in it that I would say is probably more on a young adult like reading level as far as the content in the book, if that makes sense. Like there's quite a bit of violence in it, and while I have read a lot of young adult books that have a little bit of violence in them stuff, never quite to this extent. I mean, I sort of can even vouch for Harry Potter not being as graphic on certain levels, but it all depends on the writer too, and Neil Gaiman is very graphic when it comes to his books and very descriptive. So that's just a personal preference. I would have preferred it to have been considered young adult or adult fiction, because the story itself, the story is really on an adult level, but is the writing, and that's sort of the thing that bothered me about the book, and that's the only thing that kept me from giving it 5 stars on Goodreads. I gave it 4 stars because while the writing in the book is on a teenager or young adult level, the content is really adult. The biggest thing is this book felt kind of rushed because he wanted it to be on a teen level and he wanted it to be sort of young adult. And so I feel like he left so much stuff out because he wanted it to be considered that type of book. I feel like it was sort of rushed at points, and I would have loved to have been able to get more involved in the world of fairy that is in this book. Would have loved to have been able to get more involved in that world, but really we just get a sort of quick rundown of everything that happens and an overview, which is fine because it wasn't meant to be a series or a trilogy or anything like that. It was meant to be a standalone book, and he done a fantastic job with the category that it's in and the content that is in the book. I recommend this book to any Neil Gaiman fan. You will find that the style of writing is definitely Neil Gaiman, 100%. You've got the 2, 3, or 4 different characters, all in the same chapters, all in the same story, but all experiencing different stuff, and you get everyone's viewpoint, and that's what's cool about it. So I definitely recommend the book. 4 out of 5 stars. Great story, just wish it could have been a little bit longer.